I am super excited because one of my goals this year was to forage. And I set myself up to do that by never mowing my yard last year. Okay, so I really thought that what I would do was forage in the woods, but I'm just foraging from my yard. We let a couple of things go last year. Chicory and plantain, which plantain is just everywhere. So let me show you my bounty. This is a mix of dandelion, broadleaf plantain, another plantain, all snipped from my yard. We will rinse it. This is chicory, a lot of chicory that from what I'm reading is best warmed. So I don't know what I'll do with that. And then over here, I've got some of my mint that I've grown and some thyme, some marigold, and then the chicory. So, oh, and there's some sage and rosemary in here too. So those are mostly cultivated. But we're gonna rinse everything up and make some stuff. So the first step of really everything is to rinse your veggies, even the veggies that you grow in your garden, unless you have magically sanitized them from all the elements. Always rinse your damn veggies. But since ours have just been growing like wild and not in any specific beds, and have had the occasional cat coming around them, and because of like bugs and things like that, I am gonna rinse them all. I went ahead and used the rainwater to do the first rinse of these because everything I've read says chicory is like a warm preparation, so I know we're gonna rinse it again. So this was my first rinse with rainwater, but the rest I'm just gonna rinse with tap water. When I harvest my strawberries, I like to put them in water for a little while, maybe not too long because the water turned pink the last time, but strawberries, because they grow so low to the ground, they end up having a ton of little creepy friends on them. I love you, creepy friends. Please hang out in this water so I can have clean strawberries. Since we grow our mint on the tree lawn where it's not immune to cars and passersby, like maybe a neighbor's dog, I always do a really thorough visual inspection, and I kind of take from in the middle where it's less likely to have gotten any of the local pollutants, but I'm still gonna rinse it and pat it dry. Same goes for our thyme. It's grown on the tree lawn, although it is less susceptible to things coming by because of the way it's positioned. And our sage and our rosemary, they are grown near a walkway with high traffic, and they're low to the ground. So like anything that's close to dirt warrants being rinsed off and visually checked, and make sure that it's not got anything from the dirt that can make you sick. So I've noticed that the way that marigolds are formed is, that's the kitchen faucet, okay. They will get little friends inside them and like inside the flowers, and chicory, not so much, but since I put it all together on this, there's lots of little friends crawling around. So I'm just gonna break all these up and give them a quick rinse, but I don't wanna rinse flowers too much because I don't wanna damage them. I kind of got a little bit of water in here, and I'm kind of doing a little bit of this. It seems to be really getting the little friends out and keeping the flower in nice shape. Oh my gosh, I have this amazing bowl of herbs and flowers. It's gonna taste so good. I hope I showed it to you well. Oh yeah, there we go, look at it. It smells amazing, y'all. And marigolds, they taste so good. Okay, so I was careful to go in with my little kitchen scissors and hand snip the greens. I didn't just pull them from the ground because then a ton of the dirt comes from them. So I wanted to snip them above where there'd be a lot of dirt, because what really makes vegetables cause illness is dirt. Dirt has the stuff in it. And of course, things like bird poop or other poop, contaminated water, which we don't have. Our water is safe. So you can eliminate a lot of any like dangers in either your foraged goods or your veggies by picking them from places that are going to be clean and snipping them up away from the dirt. So you're just getting the beautiful green stuff that's been available. And also, I made sure not to pick any that had been super nibbled on by whatever the fuck is living in my yard. Because I don't know what that is. Please enjoy your greens. I will eat the whole leaves, but I'm still going to give everything a rinse and pat it dry before I use it. Okay. I got my foraged greens. Spoiler, I already did a TikTok video. Anyway, I added some corn. I dressed them. Let's taste them. I'm not as afraid because I already did a TikTok video. And the result is like really flavorful. Not bitter like I expected, but really tough. A little bit of sensory overload in my mouth, but not bad. A worthy experiment. Not gonna lie, I will not be eating that whole bowl, but I'm glad I tried it. Foraged greens, you should try them. I went downstairs after I posted me or videoed me eating, and my husband was finishing up the drain, and my tongue feels weird, like not tingly, not swollen, not any of the things about like allergic reactions, just like maybe a residue. Like, I don't know if y'all ever experienced this, but sometimes when I eat apples, it makes my teeth feel a little bit weird. So I don't know why it's so scary to eat foraged foods that we know aren't poisonous, that there's a body of work that says that they're fine for you. We've cultivated specific greens. Sorry, my arm gets tired. We've cultivated specific greens for a specific reason. Romaine lettuce and green lettuce and really anything that's not kale is usually very sweet, very tender. Even the bitter greens like endive and frizzy and arugula, they're still very soft, very tender. And then kale is like the biggest, roughest green that we eat. And a lot of people don't just put kale in a salad. Even spinach too, you like cook it down and whatnot. So somewhere along the way, someone decided that what they prefer to do is they prefer to have soft, tender greens. And now that's what we all eat. And that's what's mass produced. And what I have not successfully grown in my garden. There are definitely probably large parts of the world that are very comfortable with eating tougher greens. Certainly in the South, mustard and collard greens are really common. I did cook those up into a stews and I didn't like them. So for me also, I'm autistic. I have a lot of sensory issues. I'm anxious. I have anxiety. And I gotta tell you, it's like making me feel a lot of things right now. Will this become something that we just eat? I don't know. But I'm really glad I tried it, and I think you should definitely try it. A lot of this stuff will just grow in your yard if you don't mow it. Plantains are edible, dock, chicory, dandelion greens. I mean, I can buy dandelion greens in the grocery store. Those are all edible greens that for me in Zone 5B in Ohio grow just without much work. And if that's something that you could incorporate into your diet, your food security would be so much better because, you know, there is a food chain, a supply chain for cultivated vegetables. You've got to get the seeds or the plants, you know, get the compost or whatever. And yes, you can save your own seeds. You can make your own compost. Absolutely, you 100% can do that. And that's still a lot of work when you consider that there are these perennials that just grow like literal actual weeds and they require no effort. There's definitely something to be said for that. So in conclusion, I'm likely going to compost the majority of those greens. My husband said he would eat more. He liked it. I'm going to let him eat a little bit at a time to make sure that we don't have any adverse reactions or indigestion or anything. And I'm glad I tried it, but I'm still scared. And that's where I am.